Okay, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This one's just going to be a nice, quick, and easy one, as it is a Sunday. It's kind of a beautiful day out today, and I kind of wanted to go out for a ride and talk about something that I've been thinking about lately. Yes, I will be doing that cooking video I promised you guys. However, I have not seen Emma and Agong outside in a long time, which kind of worries me a little bit, but I'm sure they're fine. Maybe they're traveling or something, but I just haven't seen them, so I haven't had the chance to ask them if it's okay if I cook them food. Anyways, yeah, so I wanted to talk about the differences between Taiwanese children and mainland Chinese children, because they are very, very different. I mean, Taiwanese people are probably more different than they are similar to mainland Chinese people, I would argue. And you can especially see that in their children. When I talk about children, I'm talking about children probably under the school age, because that's where the similarities start to appear, is when they enter school. Okay, wow, there was a lot of people outside today. Shopping day just before Christmas. Anyways, yeah, so the similarities start to happen when they enter school, and that's simply because both cultures value, or both countries, I should say, value education very much, and so that your childhood ends abruptly. And just gonna get out of your, okay, get out of your BMW. So they kind of tend to get rid of any childishness in children as soon as they enter school, and that is done by the teacher, typically speaking, in China. In China, teachers are still very much respected. They're respected in Taiwan as well, but lately in the news there have been various scandals, some maybe inappropriate practices by teachers in Taiwan that Taiwanese parents can't accept. However, you know, they still are respected, but I say that the teachers are responsible for almost raising the children in China, because parents, okay, this is just from my experience living in China, working in China, parents didn't really know how to raise their kids, and for the most part just didn't. A lot of the parenting fell on the grandparents, because the parents are so busy working, they don't really get to see their children. They might move to a larger city, so they make more money for their families, and that just means spending time away from their kids, which means their kids end up becoming feral. And there's a word that they have in mainland China to describe these children that's called 熊孩子, which literally translates to bear child, or not necessarily bear, but it's more like feral, like wild child. And you see them everywhere. These little emperors, what they call. They get what they want, they can do anything they want, and they truly are wild. It was fairly common to see children running around restaurants, buck wild. Chinese restaurants, mainland Chinese restaurants, are a party. I mean, people are loud, people are talking, people are drinking and having fun and partying, and they aren't really looking after their kids, so you might be trying to have a quiet meal and you're just gonna have kids running around your table playing. It's pretty mad. And I think that is what a lot of people complain about when they go to China, is that the children there are unbearable. They really are not polite. And I think the reason for that is, and I'll get to Taiwanese kids in a minute, but I think the reason for that is yes, they aren't raised by their parents, and their parents really have no idea what they're doing, but also because they're raised by their grandparents, and their grandparents, at least that generation, belongs to what we call the lost generation. The lost generation were the people that, just long story short, wasn't a great time to grow up. I'm sure you can search YouTube videos or Wikipedia, the history there, but these people basically grew up without culture. They had no real anything to grasp at as far as how to behave. And so older Chinese people are rough. They are not easy people to talk to or deal with. They're very brash and they're very harsh. But anyways, these are the people that are raising the young people in mainland China, and also having children is very important to Chinese people, and they can only have one, which means that one kid that they have gets spoiled absolutely rotten, especially by grandparents, and that makes a teacher's job very difficult. And so that would be my explanation of Chinese children. They get what they want. Also, remember that there are certain practices that are done in mainland China that aren't in Taiwan. For example, shitting on the streets, or urinating on the streets, or just on the floor anywhere they want. Children have to go to the bathroom, and there aren't often public bathrooms available for people, and so you'll often see grandparents taking their grandchildren out and doing their business, sometimes out in the open. That was one of my first memories of living in China. I was working at a university in Henan, and I remember just seeing this kid drop trow and do his business in front of me beside the cafeteria with everybody walking by. It was really shocking for me at the time, but I got used to it. You will not see that behavior here in Taiwan. Taiwanese children do not urinate or defecate on public streets. It's highly frowned upon. They do not like that at all. Taiwanese kids, on the contrary, so how would I describe Taiwanese kids? They're a lot more what you would think as normal for Western people, I would say. They're very respectful. The children at my school have great parents who really care about their kids. They really care about their children's education. They're awesome. They're so nice. They're really great. Not every Taiwanese kid is well behaved and good. They don't wait until they go to school to sort of make sure to teach their kids manners and being polite and all that stuff. So typically speaking, Taiwanese kids are a lot more better behaved. Does that make sense? Before they reach school. And I'll go into detail a little bit more, but I have teacher friends, and I figured it'd be interesting to ask them what they think of Taiwanese kids. This is Andre. He's also a teacher. Can I get your impressions on Taiwanese kids? Are they horribly misbehaved, or?
Fuck. I've got so many things to say. Some are good, some are cunts. That's about it, really.
Thanks. I love your mustache, by the way. It's an appropriate costume for the video.
Yeah, very child-friendly appearance.
Yeah, you yourself have a son. Do you know what is your impressions in Taiwanese kids?
Well, as a teacher for 12 years, I saw every different type of kid, and I would say that they're definitely more well-behaved than kids back in the West. But I don't see how the kids are disciplined at home. So I don't know the nice kids are nice because they're just nice, or they've been well brought up. I mean, I think my son is a nice kid because he's been well brought up and well disciplined. But with Taiwanese kids, you get every range. You get the spoiled ones that you can see how they've been treated differently to the ones that have been disciplined well. But I think in general, Taiwanese kids are just a little more contained than Western kids. There's not as much freedom for expression, I think. Might be changing over the generations, but I wouldn't say that I know a marked difference between Taiwanese kids and Western kids. One thing that you don't see in Taiwan, but you do see back in the West, is public displays of tantrums. You just don't really see tantrums in public. But in the West, you'll see kids absolutely freaking out, and sometimes the parents will just let them get it out. Sometimes they'll beat the shit out of them, but I can't speak on behalf of China, but in Taiwan you just don't see that. Whether that's built into them from a very early age, if they need to keep their face or something, I don't know, but in public, kids are definitely more well-behaved than they are in the West. Yeah.
Nice. That's a good point, because you see that in China.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyways, guys, just to conclude, I think Alan brought up some really good points here in Taiwan. It's sort of a mixed bag. It really depends on the parents and how they decided to raise their kid. I will say in my class, most of my kids are great, really well behaved. None of them are poorly behaved. They're just, some of the parents maybe are a little bit more laxed in how they discipline their kids. Whereas in China, most kids, before they get into elementary school, are wild, feral, 熊孩子, that word. They can do whatever they want. I'm sure it'll quickly change as the generations keep going and the culture continues to revive itself. And now, of course, Chinese people are allowed to have 2 children, which hopefully takes the pressure off, the one child who just kind of gets everything they want. But I think they start to become very much similar once they get into elementary school, because that's when their life just becomes studying and pressure and trying to get good grades and working really hard and studying. So yeah, I think that's it for me. I hope that was enough. It might have been a bit basic. I apologize. I can't put B-roll over this video because we are talking about children and I'm unable to, show you guys videos of kids on YouTube. But I just thought it was kind of an interesting comparison because I don't think a lot of people know that maybe about China. But if you've gone there, let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you've seen any ridiculous stories. I've got plenty, but I just wanted to kind of lay out the differences there. But yeah, stay positive, keep your stick on the ice, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. And also, if you like this kind of video, hit the subscribe button. They're normally way more interesting and with more B-roll and maybe more of a story, but I just thought it was really nice out. I wanted to get on my bike and talk about something that I thought was interesting. Catch you guys on the next one. Before I let you guys go, just because we have the time, I just wanted to say thank you to Sarah, a subscriber who sent me and Alan a few bottles of wine and some other cool things for the house and some postcards and hongbaos and magnets and stuff.
And also to Greg and Katrina, who have sent me really awesome stuff. That's been already put to use, so I can't show it on camera. Thank you so much, and I'm assuming these are Christmas gifts, but they're really great, and I just wanted to quickly say thank you at the end of my video, and I'm sure I'll be back next week with another video, but I also just wanted to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, and again, thank you, Sarah, from Taiwan, for these really cool gifts. I'll see you guys next week.